Welcome back to the Maelstrom, everybody. We've got another Dropzone Commander battle report for you today. 2,500 points. We're going to give it a go on our Arctic table here. We're going to treat each one of these buildings, each one of these snow formations as if it were a building. So units can come to those and get inside like they have cave systems in them. You can also man the wall to represent firing from the mouth of the cave and in the rubble. But if you do that, you cannot repel borders because the side's too big. And you can be fired at as normal infantry on a wall. So each one of those counts as a structure. It is also indestructible. I don't remember if I said that or not. We are playing Surging Strike. So focal points, we are at battle level, so one additional focal point per quarter. We have one here in the snow, in the open, one on the foot of the mountain, one at the top of the mountain. Have another one here in the fountain. We have another in the center, one on top of this rock formation, one in the snowdrift here, one on top of this formation, and a final one in the cave system here. So those are our focal points. United Colonies of Mankind versus Shaltari tribes. Be right back with the armies. First up, we've got the United Colonies of Mankind half. Josh is going to walk us down his forces.
So for my field command battle group, I have a Kodiak with a general, a Ferrum, and 4 Wolverine A's. For my first armored battle group, I have 2 squads of 3 sabers in condors with missile pods and 3 longbows with raven bees and missile pods. For my second armored group, I have 2 squads of 3 sabers in condors with missile pods and an eagle gunship. Then for my legionnaires, I have a large group with 2 squads of 3 stands of legionnaires. They're both in bear APCs and they're sharing a condor that has missile pods. And for their support, I've got a rapier squad in a condor with missile pods. Then for a light infantry group, I have 2 squads of 2 stands of legionnaires in Raven A's. And for support, I've got 3 rapiers in a condor with missile pods. Then for my expeditionary group, I have a squad of Praetorians, 2 stands in a Raven A, and 4 stands of Praetorian snipers in a bear APC. And rounding out the army in my air wing are 2 individual archangels.
All right. So that is the United Colonies of Mankind, 2,500 points. Next up, we have the Shaltari Tribes Army, 2,500 points. For the Court of Elders, we've got a Coyote with a level 5 commander. His group has a squadron of 3 Caimans in it, rather. For my War Fist, I've got 2 Jaguars and a Dream Snare. I also have, I think that might be it actually for that. The next group is a Sword Point. We have 2 groups of 3 Tomahawks and 1 group of 3 Kukris. Second Sword Point, we've got 2 groups of 2 Tarantulas and 1 group of 2 Bird Eaters. We have for our Spear Tip 4 Yaris with light ion cannons and 2 bases of Firstborn. We have 2 infantry formations. The first group is simply 2 groups of Braves. The second group is 1 group of Braves and a Flame Drake. For the gates, we have 4 Spirit Light Gates, Gaia Heavy Gate, 3 Eden Medium Gates, and then 2 Haven Terror Gates. So that is the Shaltari Tribe's contribution. We will be back after turn 1. Turn 1 winds down, and as you can see, the table has covered up with toys. Kodiak came on down here. Longbows dropped out here. Wolverines drove on along the edge. Big infantry formation dropped out here and occupied both cave systems here. The Ferrum rolled on and threw its drones up towards the center of the table. Not the long reach snipers, they're not out yet. The Praetorian snipers drove on their bear and climbed out in this cave formation. Rapiers dropped on this focal point to defend. Eagle gunship and the 2 light formations of infantry moved up the flank. And all the armor pushed the center. Rapiers came on down here, stayed in their transport, as did the Praetorians. Shaltari dumped their Tomahawks here in a forward position through their gate. And the Caimans on in the back. Caimans and the Fire Drake came on, fired down here. Caimans knocked out 2 of the Wolverines with their laser pods and hit this longbow through the gap here twice, but were unable to convert it to damage. The Flame Drake fired through, scattered back, and knocked out this longbow. The Bird Eaters jumped out here. The Firstborn jumped out to occupy this cave system, and the Yaris came on the edge here. Kukris drove on from the back, and then the main block dropped here in the center. So that is turn 1. Each faction, let's see, he controls 3 focal points at this point. I control 1, or well, no, 2 to 1 looks like. Anyway, doesn't matter at this point. Turn 2 coming up. Turn 2 rolls to an end. Armies are starting to take position. The infantry have gone to the walls here and here to provide sight for the aircraft. One of them came in, zinged on down this edge after all the AA had gone, fired on the back Yari, but missed and zinged off the table back there. Shaltari moved infantry here. The Yaris got activation early, fired here against the Ravens in an attempt to stop these infantry. Only hit 1 time and failed the damage. So these infantry were able to move into this building and claim possession of it. We did win first activation. The Jaguars advanced, punched the rapier off the corner of this formation, knocked this condor down and killed 2 of the tanks inside. The rest of the tanks dropped here in an L pattern for defense. 1 more of them was picked off along the way by the end Cayman there, firing through the gap. This longbow has lived a blessed life, scored 2 E7 hits and 2 E10 hits on him across the course of the turn, and he emerged from all of that unscathed. 2 rapiers, the 3 did drop here on the corner of the mountain to try to push the gates away. 2 of them were destroyed in the process of landing as the tomahawks fired and skirted to the flank. As you can see, I'm getting a massive gates here across the center as we reposition to get away from the rapier AA fire. The bird eaters moved up and fired on the eagle, knocked 2 points out, scored 6 hits and only did 2 points. The eagle made them pay for it and blew the first one to Kingdom Come, fired his missile pods on the Yaris to no effect. The drones flew in, took reactionary fire from the kukris. 3 of them were destroyed. They scored 4 hits. Combine those to 2 E10 hits, which I bounced 1 off my save and 1 rolled a 2, so did no damage. Tarantulas dropped on this flank to counter the armored threat, which was sort of knocked apart by incidental fire. But that's where we are. Casualties are starting to show, and we will be back after turn 3. Turn 3 comes to an end. Lots of carnage this turn. UCM fast movers crossed the hill and down to this gate. The first one missed, but he did not take any damage. Second one knocked all 3 points out and crashed him. The tarantulas are climbing the hill on this end. The tomahawks swung out and fired. All 3 of them were destroyed in the ensuing fighting. They knocked a couple of these out. The caimans knocked 1 out. The fire drake knocked 2 out. Both of the wolverines moved up, fired, and put a point in the flame drake. The Shaltari braves took the wall, destroyed both of them with Gauss fire, and killed 12 guys with their grenade launchers. 1 sniper died to a tomahawk round for lack of another target, and the rapier was shot down. Last rapier moved to this flank and killed the lead Yari. These infantry fired their rockets here to no effect. The Yaris splashed both of these ravens. The eagle went down to the kukris, who played an anti-grav boost and climbed up amongst the rocks. Lead kukri was knocked out by tank fire. 1 drone surviving here, 1 drone here. 4 were spat out this turn. The Jaguars moved up and knocked 3 of them out. Infantry all over the place. Picked up the firstborn and teleported them out. Crazy bloodbath everywhere. Sweep up all this junk, start turn 4, and we will be back once that is complete. Turn 4 winds down. The caimans, for lack of a better target, moved up, fired all of their Gauss triads through here, and finally shelled this guy into oblivion. The infantry killed this guy off with their grenade launchers, killed the last few survivors there, and fired the rest of their rifles here to no effect. Tomahawks were able to wreck 1 of these, or actually no, it was the flame drake. The 3 tomahawks and both Jaguars fired here to no effect, and moved to the center of the table to hold their AA fire. Bird eater fired and killed 3 of the 4 drones that were unleashed up this flank this turn. The rapier fired his shots here, destroyed this Yari. Lost a spirit gate here to the drone firing. Knocked down a condor that was right there that was flying up to shell me with the kukris. The tarantulas continue to climb the summit of the mountain. The Raven A and the Rapier are hanging out here on their objective. Tried to play a scout gate drone to put my firstborns in this building, but it was espionaged. I think that was about it. So turn 4 in the books, turn 5 coming up. Turn 5, we decided to go ahead and call it there. The commander moved up here to start adding his weight to the focal points. Archangels crossed that point. One of them made it across okay. They managed to deal 2 damage points to this Eden Gate. The Jaguars managed to get their reaction fire through, destroy one. The other one skirted through the damage. Let's see. Firstborns moved in here with the Haven Gate to push these guys out of the building. And Caymans knocked out 2 of the remaining 3 tanks here and put 2 damage points on the Ferrum with laser pods. Continue to climb the hill with them. So at that point, the UCM are going to go ahead and call it. That will be a Shaltari victory. We will have after action reviews and post-game thoughts in the blog as always. Feel free to give us a like on Facebook. That's really the best way to see everything that's going on at the Maelstrom, and let us get all that information to you in the best way. And give us a subscribe if you like what you see, because we are like any other YouTuber. We are built on the subscriptions. So thanks for watching, and let us know what you thought about the alternate rules we used for this table. It was very strange. It was a lot of units have fulfilled different roles with the table set up like this. So let us know what you think, and leave your thoughts below. As always, thanks for watching.